Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. This is Sumi from the Mochi Cloud. And if it's your first time joining, thank you so much for watching. If you're already subscribed, thank you for coming back. We have a package from the ever elusive Hobonichi. Alright, so before I go into this, let me tell you, I have had trouble with FedEx whenever they deliver something to my house. So I chose to have this package, and in fact any packages that get delivered by FedEx, I now choose to have it held at a location, which is usually a Walgreens that is near me. And if you are in the US and if you've had trouble with FedEx delivering your packages for whatever reason it may be, I would highly recommend using their service. You just need to download their app and have your packages held at a safer location so that you can pick it up within, I guess, 5 days of delivery. So that's what I've been doing. So my package is not scuffed. There are some marks, but it's understandable. It's traveled all the way from Japan. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into this. This is going to be a long chatty video, so I do have some stories to say, good stories, nothing bad. I'm very excited, so grab a drink, grab a snack, maybe grab your planners since it is Hobonichi season. So I'm gonna tear it open and take out the stuff, see if there is stuff that's outside of the box. And I'm gonna show everything one by one. Okay, so the reason why this came packaged in a white bag is because there was something outside of this, and that's what I'm gonna show you first. Say hello to the mother cast bag. I hope you're able to see this. I'm gonna move this in there. Look at that. That's so pretty. And this light does not do it justice. It's actually a dark green on gray. So all the embossing that you see here, it's really dark green. And if I were to show you the inside, there's this nice small flap where you can hold some stuff of yours, and the handles are green, dark green. It says Hobonichi no Kuromono. I wonder what that means. So let me tell you, I have not played Mother/EarthBound, but I have watched enough gameplays and enough videos that I feel so close to it. And this is something that I missed out on the last year. And I was kind of, this and in fact the weeks that they had brought last year. So I missed out on that as well. So I was very happy when I saw that this is still being stocked. And I don't know, I just had to have it. It's so gorgeous. It's a wonderful, I think it's canvas. It's plenty of space to hold in a lot of your items. There's also there are 2 drawstrings I think you can use for just tying this up, and you can use it as maybe, a cafe bag or something, but this is really pretty. Look at that. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to shop directly from Hobonichi instead of from, the local places, because they would not have these accessories. I can always find resellers, but it's always really hiked up, the prices. So I'm glad I made the purchase, and this is amazing. So I'm gonna put this back in and start unboxing the rest. All right, so now that the first one's out of the way, let's open the box. I'm not gonna read this. You have seen several unboxings by now, most likely, so if you do want to read it, pause right here. Yeah. Oh, there is something on top. Oh, why are you getting in the way? Okay, so this is what I was rushing to purchase on launch day. And I know what you're thinking. This is not 2023, right? Yeah, it isn't. Okay, I need to move this out of the way. Look at that in all its glory. So here's where the story starts. Okay, so if you didn't watch my Hobonichi preview party first impressions video, which I will put up somewhere here, go watch that one after this one. Or maybe the second part is already up by now, so you can watch that too. I was not intending to purchase an A6 cover or Techo, like stated in the other video. My original intention was to purchase a Weeks, a Cousin, and one more Weeks. That was my whole lineup for 2023, at least in my head, that's what I was thinking. And one of the Weeks I was going to use as a language learning journal. One was going to be for the other Weeks was going to be for my social media, and the Cousin was going to be my daily planner. So my intention for one of the Weeks was to purchase the Inuyasha Weeks, which was still available when I was filming that video. And this is something that I totally missed out on last year because I was not using a Hobonichi planner. Honestly, I was not using any planners for that matter. So I was very much interested to purchase the Hobonichi Weeks, Inuyasha, and another Weeks as part of my 2023 lineup. But what happened was, when August 25th came rolling around, they closed down the shop, right, to get their store ready for 2023 planners. I noticed that the Inuyasha Weeks that was available was not listed in the new store. And I panicked. I really panicked because I was so pissed off at myself because I could have purchased it a couple of days prior and just put it on shipment hold, which is, in hindsight, that's what I should have done, but I didn't do. So August 25th came rolling around. We had 5 or 6 days to get ready for the September 1st lineup. So I emailed Hobonichi asking them, hey, I was looking to purchase the January start of the Inuyasha Weeks, but I'm not able to see it in the 2023 store. Is there a chance that it's still available? Is it in some other, I don't know. I was just asking them if it's not available or if it's still available, where can I find it? But they responded to me the next day and said that the sales have ended for Inuyasha Weeks, and unfortunately, it's not available in the 2023 lineup. I was so sad. I was so sad. And I did ask them whether they plan to restock it. And they said at this moment they don't have any information about restocks. And I was like, okay, thank you for responding. And we ended that conversation there. And it was, my own fault. I'm just gonna say this is my stupidity because I should have just bought it. And that's the thing about these Weeks covers, which I was not fully aware of. And one of the reasons why I did not purchase the Inuyasha Weeks at that time was because there was an information on the Hobonichi store that they're as part of the opening of the new store, they usually put in information saying what are the Weeks or what are the covers that will still continue into 2023 versus what will not be made available. And there were a bunch of Weeks covers that they did mention, and other covers that will not be in the lineup for 2023. And the Inuyasha Weeks was not mentioned there, so I assume that it's gonna continue. But unfortunately, that was not the case. So I was gutted for a couple of days after August 25th. I emailed them and they confirmed that it's not available. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, this is my stupidity, so I need to, take ownership of that. And I figured, okay, I need a language learning journal. So what do I do? So I was in the process of using, thinking that I may need another week. So I was trying to figure out which one I will use. But then I saw that the A6 cover of the Inuyasha is available. And I was like, this is interesting because, you know what, I can use the A6 as a language learning because it is small. If you've seen the Techo, which I will show you in a minute, it has enough space, but not too much space, to use as a language learning journal. And I had this whole system figured out in my head, which maybe I will explain it to you in a later video, because I don't want this to end up being like 50 minutes. So yeah, I was okay. I made up my mind, and by August 31st, 11 p.m. or was it 10 p.m. Eastern? I don't remember. I think it was 10 p.m. Eastern. I was like, okay, I'm getting my hands on this cover, because if I think back to it, it was this entire image that actually made me fall in love with the Hobonichi Inuyasha lineup, not the week's one. So I convinced myself it's a situation that is something that is meant for the better. Whatever happens is meant to happen, something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. So long story short, I convinced myself to go from the Inuyasha weeks to the Inuyasha A6 cover. I think it's called a successor because because the week's cover was no longer available. Yeah, I had no other option. So, okay, so I'll open this up. Oh, it is double protected. Oh, because it has the cover on cover. Okay, I'm gonna move all of this away. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Like, and this is the thing, I don't think I have seen one of those, any of the 20, and this is my opinion purely, none of the 2023 covers look like this. I don't know what it is, but they don't look like this. Look at the art. It's beautiful, like up close. When I look at it, it's amazing. And it's got that very sketchy art that, you see in mangas. And even the light, like the way the light is shining on his robe is so beautiful. And on the inside, of course, we have I think this is the cloud illustration. I think this is, and this is one of my goals. I want to be able to read what this is by next year. I think I know what it means, but really be able to comprehend what it means is something that I want to do for next year. And of course, this is the information about the Inuyasha manga. It's beautiful. And of course, we have the details, the life book. Okay. I think I'm gonna, before I take out the charm, I'm gonna, get this one out first. Okay. It's beautiful. Even with the cover and without the cover, it is gorgeous. And I think with the cover on cover, not the cover. Like with the cover on cover, it gives it a different feel. Like it feels like, it feels like Sesshomaru's in the back, kind of, it gives that three-dimensional aspect to it. And of course, I am Team Sesshomaru in case anybody wants to know. Let's take out this charm because that's part of the whole reason why this lineup is so amazing. Okay, so there's only one bookmark in this version. There are not two. Usually the Hobonichi covers come with two, but the Inuyasha one only has one. And if you didn't know, this is where I would like to, put a spoiler alert for Inuyasha. If you haven't seen the anime or read the manga, this is a Magatama charm, and this is actually woven into the necklace that Kaide-ba-chan strings on his neck when they capture him in the first, I think that happens in the very first few episodes. So, and this is kind of what enables, Kagome to use Osuari every time when he just goes sitting down. So that's a very nice way of adding a little touch to the book, and without without making it way too obvious. This is really done well, and I hope I'm not completely ripping it off, because I need to be a little more careful with this. Okay, there you go. It's so beautiful. It goes so well. And this is very much like his robe from the Fire Rat, the robe that Inuyasha wears. So I'm so happy I got this. Okay, so long story short, I convinced myself into getting a Inuyasha Weeks, not Inuyasha A6 Techo, because the Weeks was not available. But the story does not end there. So, okay, so long story. I said this is going to be a long story. So what happened is I made the purchase on September 1st, I think August 31st, and I did put it on shipment hold and added more items that you will see in this video. But I did notice that, my stuff was getting heavy, so I figured I will release the first shipment because I do intend to purchase more during the October 1 release. So I think I released my shipment sometime on September 10th, and I figured I will wait for the next items, or I will add for the next items when October 1 comes along. So yeah, and I was well and good, and everything was fine. And a couple of days later, well, actually I remember this was on the September 14th, Hobonichi emails me. Okay, and I was like, whoa, okay, what? Where did I when I got the email, it was like Hobonichi, and I was like, huh? What's wrong? Did something go out of stock? Were they not able to prepare my Inuyasha shipment? Oh no, that's what's going on in my head first. But that's not what happened. They emailed me and they said, "Dear Sumi," Sumi's my name, "we have decided to stock the Inuyasha Weeks, and it will be available from September 14th or 15th. I was like, what? I was looking for a January start, but they were stocking the April one because, April is their academic year. So, and it might have made more sense for them to stock the April one because the days go all the way until March 2023. Either ways, I got an email and I was like, oh my goodness. And I ran. When I tell you I ran to my laptop and bought the Hobonichi Weeks. It was available by the time they emailed. I oh my god, I was so excited. And my first order had a shipping label printed already, so I could not do anything. So I was still happy that I got this. But when I saw that they are restocking the weeks, I was like, this is it. And I emailed them back saying, thank you so much for even, responding to me. It was not even responding. They just sent me an email by themselves. And I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but I just wanted to just explain this properly. So yeah, they just emailed me, and I responded, thank you for even remembering that I inquired about this. And it just, they were like, yeah, we're sorry for any inconvenience. I'm like, what inconvenience? But yeah, I was so excited. So safe to say that I have a second shipment with the Inuyasha weeks on the way. So this is like a small spoiler alert for part 2, but I could not contain my excitement back then and even when I'm filming this. So what I wanted to say was there are a few 2022 weeks covers that are still available, and they are not on the main page. So if you are like me and you were after one of the 2022 covers, you were unable to purchase them and you wanted to see them, but it was not available in the 2023 lineup, many of them have been restocked on September 14th or 15th, and you have to find them like after you reach the weeks, the end of the weeks, the mega weeks, the covers. There's a small section that says view 2022 Techo weeks lineup. You click that, and then it shows the next set of weeks covers, and some of them are, I remember seeing the classic plaid. There was the Dreamscape one, which I think was coveted by a lot of people, and there was one more I'm not remembering. And of course there was the Inuyasha. Unfortunately, the Mother Weeks from last year is not available, but there are some covers that are there that are kind of hidden, little obscure. So if you were coveting something and it's not available right now, then it might be there. It's not only the Inuyasha weeks that they have restocked, they have actually restocked the pencil boards and some of the other accessories as well. So if you were looking to purchase that, I think they're there. So yeah, long story short, we have the Inuyasha A6 Techo, and I have the Inuyasha weeks on the way, so that's what it is. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so the next item that I have is the Hobonichi Techo 2023 original for the Inuyasha cover that you just saw. I'm not going to open this because I will open this and set up my language learning journal when I'm setting it up, so I will use it then. But okay, so I chose the Japanese version, and it's not because I'm intending to learn Japanese. It's because I fell in love with Hobonichi when it had the Japanese planner, and I don't particularly care whether I can read the codes. There's kind of like a divide between the planner community on this thing. It's just that I think there are a lot of people that do not like the way that there are Japanese holidays highlighted, and some of the obviously they're not able to read the codes, or there's too much information in them in Japanese. But I really, it's of no consequence to me. I think we are forgetting that this is a Japanese company to begin with, and while they are, it's nice of them to accommodate a English planner. Well, the English planner has always been there, but the English version of the cousin and the weeks, they don't have to do that particularly. I'm of the opinion that they don't have to do that. I understand that a lot of people wouldn't want to see the words in Japanese, but honestly, I like it better this way. Personally, I think it adds a very nice touch, And of course, I also feel that when you translate certain things, especially the quotes, right? When you translate it from a language, there are certain nuances that you are not able to explain in the English language. And that goes with many languages. English is not my first language, and I know that there are some words in my local tongue that you cannot directly convert or translate to English. And that is no problem because of the translator. It's just that there are certain terms and words that you cannot directly translate, and Japanese is no different. I do feel that there are certain words in Japanese and certain sentences in Japanese that make more sense, make or carry more weight when it is spoken in the true word. So, long story short, I don't care about the English version. It's good that it's available. I don't think I will purchase the English version ever. The only reason I would purchase one is maybe to make sticker kits in my store, but I don't know if I would even do that because I'm sure that there are other wonderful stationery shops out there that would make it for the English planner. So yeah, so I won't be opening this. This is the Japanese version. I'm really excited to see how I myself am going to use this as my language learning journal. Journal. I don't know why I say that, but I have some ideas, and I will probably set it up maybe mid-October, early November, so that I can get ahead of it. So, side note before I get into the next items, this is what I was talking about, so this is the Hobonichi Cousin half-year version of 2022. And there is, in my opinion, there is enough English in here that you are able to understand what it means, right? You will get the information that it's August to September. You even get the information that it's the 35th week. And you also have the days. And I know the A6 does not have the weeklies, but it's still available for you. You are able to infer it. The other versions, you're able to infer from their main pages that this is for January, this is for February, so on and so forth. And I think a lot of people do get, not interested in these days, like the maybe I'll find something where that, like, this is a holiday, so I know everybody has different aesthetics, so it also makes sense that you might not like it, and there's nothing that we can do about it. It's obviously a personal preference. So for me, this is more than enough for me to use, and I've been able to use it very efficiently. So has the information that it's Wednesday and it's the 2nd of November, so I would continue using the Japanese version. All right, so the next purchase is something that I did not intend to purchase initially, but I was sitting on it, and yeah, I did it. So this is the drawer pouch Ane, and okay, this illustration, I have been looking at this illustration for some time. I think this is a 2020 release, and the artist who made this is a mangaka named Techo Matsumoto, and I have read a couple of mangas of this artist, and I love their illustration and I love their works. And I think this one is not based on a manga. It's based on a work that he did not release, or he had not created. So it's probably created earlier, never used. And I love this artist's style. It's a little, I also feel that there are certain works of his, like if you've read Takemitsu Samurai, that has a very different kind of illustration from this one and his other works like Ganai-kun and the others. But I really love this work. They used to have covers of this, and a lot of people have purchased. I've seen their unboxings. It was beautiful, something that I would have wanted to purchase at some point, but I'm happy that I did get my hands on the ane. And there are some stickers, kind of, things here. You have a smiley face, and the texture is pretty nice. I do feel like there is overall on the entire cover, it's not just this color. There is a green cast, which is reminiscent of his works a little bit. It's not one color. It's not. So I'm not sure if the camera is able to capture it. There is this slight, it looks like there is some kind of a movement. So it's very beautiful. And this is something that I didn't realize that this could hold so much. And what I intend to use this is as my travel wallet. I have an upcoming trip next year, so I'm gonna use this as a travel wallet, probably all my passports, my Hobonichi weeks, maybe 1 weeks that I will choose to carry. I'll probably carry the cousin too, but this one cannot carry the cousin either ways. But I wonder why they do not advertise this as a travel wallet, because it will fit, a lot will fit in here. And it's gorgeous. I think this is one of those, purchases that I'm like, oh, this is probably, I didn't need it, but I really wanted it. And maybe another one that I did want was the Doraemon ane, but I kind of compared both of it and was like, I will get this one instead. So I'm really happy. And I'm not sure if you're able to see, but the manga that he is reading is Blackjack, apparently. I haven't read Blackjack, but it's so beautiful. The attention to detail, and it has that, you feel that there is a slight velvety feel to his cap. You can see that. It's beautiful. Everything's so beautiful. All right, so that's the next one. Okay, so the next one is actually a stamp set. This is from Shinsuke Stamp, and I chose the one that is stay at home. There were two versions. There's at home and there's outside, and I'm somebody who stays at home most of the time, so I was like, okay, this is probably, I think I will use the at home one. Really love this. This is so unique. I wish I just, got my hands on all of the Shinsuke Yoshitake items. It's just amazing how this artist can take the most random things and make funny illustrations of them. They're so cute. And I'm somebody who doesn't use much stickers in my planners. Because I don't like it when it gets really heavy, but I do use stickers occasionally. But I really like the fact that there are stamps like this available, and so this is going to be really interesting to use it. So there you have it. That is my purchase. Well, my first purchase from the Hobonichi store, and let me tell you, part 2 is going to be longer than this, because I already have favorited a bunch of items that I, did not consider purchasing. And one of the things that I do want to say to everybody in this community, and this is something that Jackie from Code to Crow says, you do not need any of this to be part of the community. You can just use a piece of paper and just staple it, or not even staple it. You can just tie them up together with a piece of string, and you don't even need to do that. This is part 1 of my Hobonichi haul, and if you reach this far, please like and subscribe so that you get notified when I put out new videos, and especially when part 2 shows up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.